Chris says, I'd like to volunteer to be banned from Russia. Right, that's it, Chris. You're banned. Luton. Hello, Terry.
That's exactly what
Terry.
Yeah,
Terry is listening to the radio. Yes, Terry, you have to put the radio down, otherwise you'll hear what happened 7 seconds ago and it'll fry your mind.
Oh.
Has your mind been fried?
Is it turned down now?
Well, it sounds like it's turned down, but only you can know that.
Yeah, it's turned down now.
Turned down now. Excellent.
Yeah.
So
I'm on the radio now, yeah?
Well, for a limited time only. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the reason why I'm ringing up is because when our Prime Minister went over to the cave, and then what he did was...
You went over to where?
Kiev.
Oh, yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he actually walk around over there. Well, he shouldn't do that, really, because at the end of the day, you make Boris, you make Putin look as if that he's underdog, really. Because what Putin look at these things and thought to himself, well, if you can do that, I'm going to show you what I can do. See, and he shouldn't do that. And another thing, what I'm thinking about as well, when Putin actually, he just like the Taliban, because at the end of the day, what he does, when he started anything, he'll never stop. He'll continue to carry on with it until he get the end of it.
Right, and you know this because?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you don't know, he doesn't like to bully him. He's a bully, and once you're a bully, you've always been a bully.
Right.
Now, when he leave from Kiev and decided to bomb it again, I knew he was going to come back and do it.
Because why?
Well, the simple reason why, all the people moved out of there, and then they come back and start talking about, we're going to go back to our country because we like our country. Fair enough, yes. But you don't let him know that you're coming back. Because the moment you shift back over there, what he's going to do, he's going to set a plan.
Right, you seem to be an expert on this, Sir Terry. Do you have inside information, or are you just guessing?
No, I study these things.
Oh, you study, right?
Yeah, I study
by
these things.
reading Facebook, maybe?
No. By looking at his Facebook, Putin is a man, as you know.
He is a man.
As you look at him, you must know that the situation, what he's like.
Yeah.
See, once he move away from one thing, he wait until you move away from that and you think to himself, he ain't going to come back. Which, I said that to my missus. He's going to come back and do the same thing. He's going to bomb the place again. He's going to come back to it. And exactly what he did. Now, that ship, what they've sunk in the Black Sea. Mm-hmm. Now, what they've done...
Who?
The soldier.
Right.
When they sank the ship, they should have said nothing like that at all. They keep it to themselves.
What, then Putin might not have noticed that his ship got blown up?
Yeah, well, he knew that it got blown up, you see. But when you let him know all these things, you see, what he'll do, he'll double back onto it. Although he said no, he didn't blow it up, but he knew he did. But he doesn't want to make himself look stupid. Right.
Well, I think that you should be running the war, Terry. Can you start first thing Tuesday morning?
Well...
Yeah, okay. Tuesday afternoon. Let's not get carried away. How about first thing Wednesday? Take the whole week off. You can start the following Monday. Thanks a lot, Terry. Educational, that, no?
No.
Nicky tweets, or Nick, sorry, not Nicky, Nick. Why do so many billionaires have weird haircuts, says Nick. But it's a good question. And then he lists some. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Allen. It's a mystery, says Nick. Billionaires do have weird haircuts. It's true. For a little while there, Tony Blair, you remember Tony Blair?
Bill!
Yeah, that's him. He had a billionaire's haircut. It was like during lockdown, it got like really long. It was like what's the Virgin guy's name? Branson. It was like Richard Branson's haircut, sort of like greased and really long and pushed back like that. I think billionaires get weird haircuts because it's a mark of them not having to care. They are so powerful, they don't have to care about how weird they look. They can look weird. It's their thing. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, that moon-faced creep who runs Facebook, no offence, but I think Moonface Creep is pretty much right. Have you ever seen anybody outside of a science fiction film look like that? Nobody on Earth has ever looked like that. He looks like a robot.
Affirmative.
And Elon Musk, yeah, well, crazy name, crazy guy. And as for Steve Allen, well, don't get me started. Chris Tex, I'd like to volunteer to be banned from... Oh, no, I've read that. You're banned twice, Chris. Don't ask again. Jan says, where does God stand in all this? Is he on our side, or do we need to sanction his churches and imprison the bishops? Happy Easter, says Jan. Well, as long as you don't say anything controversial, Jan. Where is God on this? As with everything else, completely absent. Paul says, would love to see Putin's face when he pushes his nuclear cassette player button and it only plays Kenny Rogers, Coward of the County.
Rock and roll!
It does look like a 1970s 8-track machine. Look it up on the World Wide Web. My glamorous assistant got that picture up in about 10 seconds flat. Not very secret then, if there's pictures of it. It's got about 9 buttons on it, and that looked for all the world to me to be like a little floppy disk thing, one of those like 3.5-inch disc things. That's not going to work. He's kidding. Plus, they don't seem to have spent any of the money that they claim to be spending on the Russian military, do they? I mean, where's all the money gone? That ship that they just blew up, wasn't that the very same thing that puffed its way past this country a couple of years ago? Belching out smoke like they were running on chip fat. Well, that's obviously not the state of the art, is it? Rubbish. They were forcing these teenagers, putting them in uniforms and telling them to run in front of bullets. And giving them World War II rifles to use. Where's all the money gone, Vlad? I think it's all gone on solid gold toilet roll holders for his stupidly huge mansion in Sochi. It's gone somewhere. That's why the world was petrified about Rootin' Tootin' and his military might, because we thought, this is going to be a significant force that he's got at his disposal. But it turns out it's completely rubbish. I mean, what if his nuclear force is also ancient and disconnected and broken? We should pile in there and, just see what happens. Who's with me? Nottingham. Hello, Richard.
Good evening, young man. How are you tonight?
Great, mate.
Good. Now, I'm not one to complain, as you know.
But
it's about this terrible slip in standards at LBC.
Oh, yes.
I've been listening for the last 90 minutes, and we've had asteroids just missing the Earth.
We are by a billion miles.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've had a woman telling us about Taiwan and China's going to invade there.
Yeah.
We've had a firework factory explode, and you haven't managed to link one of them to Brexit. Now, James O'Brien must be spinning in his grave.
Well, that's why James O'Brien has his name on the marquee outside the building, and I am tucked away at night when no one's listening.
That's terrible. You should be on 10 in the morning, not 10 at night.
Well, I am very sorry, but that is not for me. I know my place.
Other than that, do you know Sheila Fergity at all?
No? Who's that?
She's one of your presenters.
Sheila Fergity? I don't think so. Close, no cigar.
Oh, right.
Yeah. What about her?
Oh, no, I occasionally hear her show, that's all.
Oh, yes.
And she was doing one the other day about best ways to help save lives of women and girls. And I didn't have my phone with me because I was going to phone to say, take the driving licenses off them.
Oh, I knew that it was going to be offensive. Thanks a lot, Richard. 0345 6060 973. As soon as he started out on that, I thought, warning, this isn't going to be good. But that is a good point. Good point there, Richard. So it's remarkable how no one has actually thought of that before. Just take their driving licenses away from them. Simple. That's not offensive, is it? Is that controversial? I don't think so. Bella tweets, I can't remember the last time that you didn't cover a bank holiday. Do you do them all? Well, here's something to ponder, Bella. When was the last time I actually took a holiday? Like, never. I don't think I've ever taken a holiday. I don't think I've ever taken a holiday from LBC. How long have I been here? That's the sort of question I have to look myself up on the internet. Have you ever looked up yourself on the internet? I'd have to look at Wikipedia to find out how long I've been here. Yeah, how long have I been here?
I'm just Googling it now.
He's Googling it now. Anytime you like. It's a live show, yes? Too late. 0345 6060 973. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and this week, Monday night at 10, Nick Abbot, LBC.
LBC with Nick Abbot.
Words, more words.
Okay, so the information has come back. 1999. Is that right?
Yeah, you joined with Carol for a Saturday evening phone-in.
With Carol?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I bet it was great.
Oh, right, yeah.
We still do a podcast, by the way.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, me and Carol, we do a podcast called What's Your Problem with Nick and Carol? In which the delightful Carol McGiffin and I try to solve people's problems while laughing our faces off. And we do laugh a lot. If you want us to have a bash at your issue, then you're going to have to send it to the following address. nickandcarol@global.com. nickandcarol@global.com. And prepare for a certain amount of satisfaction.
Yeah.
Ask for it by name on an internet near you. It's on Global Player, by the way. You should have Global Player for your phone. It's available for Apple and Android. Stick it up your phone and then ask it for one of my podcasts. I do 3. Just do an internet search on my name, Nick Abbott Podcasts, and all 3 will become clear as though by magic. 1999. Blimey. But I haven't been here continuously since then, have I?
No, you've been on and off.
Well, what does
You
that
took
mean?
over the weekday evening show in late 2007.
2007.
And it says on your second cover show you lost your voice.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was, I don't think it was my second cover show. I think it was my first. Yeah, I remember that very, very well. Very well. Because I had a little bit of a sore throat.
Stop whining.
A little bit of sore throat. And I thought this is very, very important to me because I haven't done a talk show in forever, having been sort of out of the business for a while. As far as my dodgy memory goes, I think that's pretty much it. And I came in and I was losing my voice. I thought, this can't be happening to me. Why is this happening to me?
Whinging and whining and moaning.
And so I parked up in Earl's Court because that was on the way to where we used to be at that time. And I parked on double red lines.
Warning, warning.
Double red lines, which means don't even think about parking here. Not now, not ever, never. And I ran into a chemist and I asked them if they had anything for a sore throat. Maybe they misunderstood what I said, and they gave me something that gave me a sore throat. It's spray. It was, and just before I went on the air, just before I put the mic up, I sprayed my throat like 3 times, as the label instructed, and it just closed my throat up, and all that came out was this. This is at the start of my first show on LBC, and I was just speaking like this, and I really couldn't make any more noise than this. And I just said, I can't talk. I'm going to have to go.
Oh, no.
So I started and finished my first show in about 10 seconds. Still, never mind. All worked out well in the end, I suppose. 1999. Blimey. So I've been here for, what year is it? 2022. So 1999 from 2022 is... let me see, 9 from 2 is, you can't do that, so you put the 1, so 9 from 12 is 3, and Then the 1 from 2 is a 2, and then the 9 from 0 is a 1. Wow. 123 years. What? I've been here 123 years. Can you believe that?
No.
And I haven't taken a holiday yet. Talk about brave. Heroic, I'd say. Here's a call in Lancashire. Annie.
Oh, hi, Nick. How you doing?
Hey up, Annie. Great, mate.
Good, good. Yes, you haven't had a holiday since I've been listening, and I can't remember how many years I've been listening now. Quite a while, I think. Probably about 8-ish.
Never, ever taken a holiday. What's wrong with me?
I don't know, but don't you kind of sneak them in between shows? Don't you go away for 2 or 3 days in between shows?
Well, not really, no. The last time I did that was I had like 2 days, 3 days maybe in Florence, which is a lovely place. I would like to have spent longer there, but that would involve taking a holiday.
Well, you could have a little holiday in this country, couldn't you? I mean, it's not so far to go.
Well, I do that. I mean, I go to parks. Does that count as a holiday?
Not really.
Not really, no.
No.
I watch television. Does that count as a holiday?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
No, that's enough to do your head in. It's not a holiday, is it? No, I suggest you come up north a bit past Watford. And
well, what's Lancashire got to recommend itself for?
Beautiful. North Lancashire is.
Is it?
It is. It's very beautiful.
Well, now, why do you say North Lancashire? Because that seems offensive to everybody in South Lancashire.
No, well, South Lancashire is nice too, but it's not as rural.
Right.
There's a lot more little towns and things. There isn't much up here, except hills and moorland and Morecambe Bay. Morecambe Bay is gorgeous. I mean, Morecambe's a bit of a strange town. It's an old.
Is it the people that make it strange? You can tell me.
Possibly a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But it's one of those very deprived, former seaside towns. Well, it is a seaside town still. It's just that everybody goes off abroad now, and still do get tourists coming to Morecambe, and it's beautiful. I don't think you could get a better view from the front, from the prom at Morecambe, than you can anywhere in the country, because you look straight out across Morecambe Bay, straight over to the mountains of the Lake District. It's a fantastic view. But then at the top of the bay, I live at the top right up at the north of the bay. Carnforth is near the top of the bay, and I don't live in Carnforth anyway. I live outside it, but there's an AONB. I live in one AONB, and then on the other side of Carnforth there's another AONB, which is the Forest of Bowland, which is about 25 miles of hills and moorland between, Lancaster and Clitheroe, really. So it's very rural, really. North Lancashire is very rural.
Clitheroe? There can't possibly be such a place. Isn't it something that was made up for telly?
You mean you've not heard of Clitheroe?
Isn't that Ken Dodds making that up? Clitheroe?
Of course
not.
not.
It was the Clitheroe Kid, wasn't it? Who was that?
I don't know.
You don't know who the Clitheroe Kid was?
No, I don't actually.
Hang on a minute.
No, all I know about Clitheroe is, I've only been once actually, and there's a fantastic sausage.
Who was the Clitheroe Kid?
According to Wikipedia, Jimmy Clitheroe was 35 years old when he started playing the part on radio.
There you are, you see. Now you know.
Oh, well, maybe I'm too young for that.
What?
Or too old, I don't know. But no, Clitheroe is a nice little town, and it's got a fantastic butcher's. Well, the time when I went there, it had about 1 million different types of homemade sausages, if you're into sausages.
Well, who isn't?
Well, I'm not anymore. I haven't been for years, but I was at the time. So it has, and it's just a little town, really.
So come to Lancashire, it's got good sausages.
Yes, and it's got North Lancashire has got lots of beautiful countryside. The Trough of Bowland is beautiful. There, Silverdale and Arnside AONB, which is the I live in.
That is area
gorgeous.
Of outstanding natural beauty. Is that
yes,
right?
It is. Yeah, and the Forest of Bowland is as well. Trough of Bowland.
Have you got any of those windmills?
Not in the AONB, not in this one that I live in. In Bowland, actually, just on one tiny bit, there is just half a dozen of them. Yeah. I think they look quite nice,
I think they look quite nice too. I think they're an excellent design. I think they look good whether they're moving or not moving. I think they're beautiful to the eye. They're certainly better looking than those hideous electricity pylons that march across the countryside. Those are awful. The wires should definitely have been buried. I mean, with the fifth richest economy in the world, we can surely bury electronic wires, for crying out loud, instead of ruining the countryside with those electricity pylons. They're just awful. But the windmills, they look great. Plus, when you look at them, you just think of all that free, pollution-free electricity they're producing. And you think, yes, let's have more of those.
Definitely, and they're not a lot more aesthetically pleasing than a blooming nuclear power station, which we have got 10 miles down the road on the other side of Morecambe is Heysham 1 and 2, which are hideous blots on the landscape.
Yes,
if you get up high anywhere around here, you can see them. And then Sellafields are probably only about 40, 50 miles by by the crow flies anyway from here.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, and the thing that goes along with a nuclear power station is, of course, everything that goes with having a nuclear blooming power station. No windmills. This entire country should be peppered with windmills. I'll restate my case. Every motorway in the land should have an avenue of windmills all the way down it. Because even if you're one of those people that think, oh no, it's an eyesore and we don't want any more of those, not on land, a motorway has ruined the countryside to within a mile on either side of it. For its entire length, that country is ruined because of the noise. So you can't go there and experience the pleasure of the countryside because it's just this cacophony of cars. So every motorway in the land should have an avenue of windmills, and that should be the law.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, except for where, there are houses too near. I mean, you don't want them right near people's houses.
Well, you don't want a motorway near people's houses either.
No, but unfortunately, some poor people have ended up with houses by the motorways by their houses.
They should be compensated in full.
Definitely. Actually, that's what I did really ring you up about was the horrendous state of your energy bill.
Oh.
I couldn't believe hearing that, and I'm sure that can't be right. When all this was first set, you have to look at your personal projection, divide it by 12 to make sure that's what you're paying, and also it should be based on your annual consumption, this expert said.
Yeah, so no doubt. But they've alerted me that I'm not paying enough, and that my best my best plan would be to pay them £400 a month, and then I'll be happy.
I don't think so. There's a woman, Google her, there's a woman that set up a group for helping people to get the best, to go into it.
We've run out of time, so unfortunately I'll never know who that is. So sad. Thanks, Annie.
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbott.
This is absolute tosh.
A big sack of monkey nuts.
A big sack of monkey nuts. So let me see if I got this right. The Loch Ness Monster is a Wales personal area. And the picture was taken while whales, 3 of them yet, were engaging in hot personal whale interface with each other.
Disgusting.
Well, that makes as much sense as anything else I've heard on this show. Dave tweets, only way we can avert World War III is to get Kim Jong-un to knock some sense into Putin. But Bella tweets, I'd pay a decent amount of money to see them two go at it, wouldn't you? I mean, fighting, not the other thing. Clean your mind up, will you, for goodness sake. Bella tweets, I can't remember the last time you didn't cover... Oh, no, I read that. Bella still can't remember the last time I did not cover a public holiday. Do I do them all? Yes, Bella. I'm a good boy, I am. John says, Fabricant doesn't have mirrors in his house. He just has photos of himself when he was 19. He looks at them and thinks, yep, still good looking. Still looking good. Oh, my God, there's me and Fabricant. Where'd you get that from?
Someone sent it in.
Oh my God! I am I'm Michael Fabricant. I am him. That's a very old picture. That is embarrassing. I used to have hair that looks just like Michael Fabricant's. Where did you get... Oh, so you don't know where that picture's come from?
No, someone tweeted it.
Right, that's about 20 years old, that picture. Keep your tweets to yourself. Goldie says, I had a very worrying dream early hours this morning. I was actually taking Jacob Smug to the Arctic Circle in a tiny rowing boat for a 2-week holiday. And to make things even weirder, I was using him as an oar. An oar, Smug.
I don't know anything.
Still doesn't know anything. Hey, I haven't given you the royal news. Don't let me leave without giving you the royal news. Lester, hello, Helen.
Hiya.
Helen.
How are you?
Great, mate.
You're good. You're keeping me amused tonight.
Oh, thanks, Helen.
Yeah, but I didn't get started at the start of your show. So what were you talking about? Mouthwash?
Why was I talking about mouthwash? Somebody yesterday said that they had an abscess in their mouth. And, well, that's normally where you get abscesses, I think, isn't it? No, you can get an abscess anywhere. They had an abscess in their mouth. And they called up their dentist, and the dentist said, we have closed for the next week because that's what Jesus wants. And then they called up the 111. They said, we're shut too. And they couldn't get the help in any way, shape or form. So people were, giving them suggestions to what to do.
Very helpful.
Very helpful at Christmas time. Yeah, Jesus' birthday.
Yeah. Well, you can tell them I have a bottle of that mouthwash. It's any use to them. It's not open, then they can come and get it.
In Leicester?
Yes.
Right.
I don't know where they live. Hopefully not Australia. And then you had this lady on a few minutes ago, and she's bumming and blowing about how beautiful it is up where she is.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, listen, you could come and have a holiday here. We're in a lovely wee cul-de-sac with elderly women. Everything's very slow, so you'll never get run over. It just doesn't happen. They're on their wee mobility scooters, and they don't speed.
So that's what Leicester has to recommend it. You're not going to get run over.
No, not in the wee cul-de-sac we live in.
Right.
Now, don't try and sit in their flower garden. That's a different story. You won't get out alive.
A different story entirely.
But what I wanted to say was I was listening and it said the Archbishop of Canterbury is going to give his speech tomorrow, and he's going to be speaking about, this policy of sending these immigrants or whatever away, and how, this is a time of Christianity, this is a time of repentance and a time of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Now, please, somebody speak to the Archbishop. The least thing that my nerves can take at this minute is to now watch Boris and Patel and Fishy all having to take the time to repent. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, I don't think they're about to do that anytime soon.
Well, I mean, it would take a cold day in hell.
Well, it would take them years to confess their sins. It would go on forever.
Got the time.
No one
I haven't
does.
got the time.
No.
I'm taking this government. I'm taking Boris to court. I'm going to sue him for post-traumatic stress disorder.
The only court you'll get Boris to is a tennis court, and it'll cost you 150,000 rubles.
Well, I tell you what, I'll not be taking him on my piggyback. I can tell you that much. Right. He can walk. I am going to do him for post-traumatic stress. That man is terrorising people.
Yeah.
He is so dopey. It's unreal. And if I wasn't so addicted to you and your little jibes and snipes, I don't think I could bear to listen about that name.
Right.
But I think the country needs to seriously think about taking Boris Johnson to court and claiming off him for post-traumatic stress disorder that he has caused us from he took over in this country.
All right. Well, you're giving us a lot to think about there, Helen. It's at the top of my to-do list. Cheers, my dear. 0345 6060 973. There you are. You see, Bodge? See what you've done? Yes. You. Ruin that nice lady's mental outlook. Very upset. Bill emails, when you said you washed your car, which one of the 4 do you mean? I haven't got 4 cars. I've only got one that works. And the one that works doesn't work very well. It sounds like... I've actually got a recording of it. I called up my garage and they said, oh, can't see you for a month. A month? You know what? I hate Easter. Easter's a very annoying time of the year. And it's as annoying... it's always this annoying. Because everything stops for like 2 weeks. And there's always things going on around Easter that I want to get done. And you have to rely on other people to do them for you. And then Easter arrives. And you can tell it's coming like about a month away because people start putting you off. And, oh, well, yeah, your car's about to break down, is it? Well, I'll put you in for May. How does that sound? Sounds blooming awful is how it sounds. Sounds as bad as my car does. It goes, it sounds like a van. I'm just telling you how it sounds. It sounds as though it's about to break down. And so I'm driving it very, very carefully, very slowly, and I'm easing away from the lights, which of course makes the people behind me go absolutely purple-faced berserk. If you don't charge away from the lights, to sit at the red light that's just ahead, for crying out loud, then they just go mad behind you. Start leaning on their horn and flashing their lights because, you've interrupted them getting to their very important appointment to watch television for the rest of the night. They'll arrive at their destination 3 seconds later than they would ordinarily do, which makes them go berserk. The hell is wrong with people? Relax, everybody. You'll live longer. So, yeah, I'm driving it incredibly slowly. I'm actually doing 20 in a 20 zone. Can you believe that?
No.
Yeah, it's just me. Just me. Only me doing 20 in a 20 zone. I don't know why your councils bother putting those zones up. Nobody pays it the slightest bit of attention. They see a sign with 20 written on it, and they just assume that... it's to prettify the neighbourhood. Because 20 is quite a nice round-looking number, so they just put it up to, make the neighbourhood look nicer. They certainly don't think that has any relevance to themselves. 20 miles an hour? Why would anybody do that? I'm certain it's going to break down. It's certainly going to break down before my appointment in a month comes around. How can they be that busy? It's just such an annoying time of the year. It's not like Christmas, because you get, the whole Christmas thing that goes with it. It brightens up an otherwise gloomy month. But Easter, everything shuts down for about what seems like a month at Easter. There's always things that you need done, and people just take off either the 2 weeks before Easter or the 2 weeks after Easter, and the cumulative effect is that nothing gets done at all till summer. Including running this country, by the way. I mean, there's a huge number of people who are paying a vast amount of money to run this country, and they've all just walked away as though everything's fine here. They've just gone. Amazing. I mean, it's just the stuff that goes on. You wouldn't believe it. This says, never mind Michael Fabricant's hair. Watch the gaslighting when he says that teachers and nurses were partying and breaking the rules. What's wrong with him? Yeah, good point, Elliot. He did say that. Yeah, everybody was doing it, so let's leave Bodger alone.
I followed the ministerial guidance at all times.
Leave him alone. He's doing his best. God, it's vomitous, isn't it? I mean, at first it was, I certainly did not break the rules, and there was no party. And then it was, okay, there was a party, but I didn't go. And then it was, okay, I did go to the party, but I didn't realise it was a party. And then it was, it could have been a party, but I'll only know whether it was a party when this mythical creature called Sue Gray publishes her report. And then it was, okay, it's a fair cop. I was at the party. I did know it was at a party. I did know I was at a party. You know, there was loud music. I was dressed in tinsel. And people were chucking up in their shoes. There was such drunkenness. And I paid my fine. But everybody else was doing it. Or... what the public should be concentrating on is the vaccine rollout. Oh, no, you can't talk about that because, it's not going so well. There's still 200 people dying a day, but we're pretending it's not happening anymore. So it's, I got Brexit done. Oh, no, you can't talk about that either because it's gone shockingly badly and you're not even allowed to say the B word anymore around Boris Johnson and his various cohorts and enablers. So now we're at, there's better things to talk about because the public should be more interested in the war. There'll always be something else. God, it's like being run by children, isn't it? But like toddlers. It weren't me. I ain't done nothing. 0345 6060 973. There's a picture of from Zora, our newsreader. She just emailed me a picture of Loch Ness, or as we now know it, a Wales area. That's the weirdest. That's the weirdest looking personal area of any animal I've ever seen. And I'm feeling a little bit grossed out about it. I don't mind telling you. There it is in public where children can see it.
Disgusting.
0345 6060 973. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night at 10. Nick Abbot, LBC.
Nick Abbot on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
Are you trying to be funny? Because I'm all out of laughs.
0345 6060 973. Patrick says, as time passes, Nick, we should expect many more Saharan dust showers, so best to drive a reddish-beige coloured car from now on. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, if you choose your car colour based on the dirt that's going to settle on it, then it will always look clean. Good thinking, Patrick. And Balm tweets, have you ever wondered where Dougal went after his gig on the Magic Roundabout was up? Rehab, I think. Here is Beverly, East Yorkshire. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I am great, mate.
Good. You were talking about cars a few minutes ago, and that sort of prompted my memory. There's a debate going on now whether we are going to conform to EU regulations on automatic speed controls on cars.
Yeah.
And I wondered what your thoughts were on this, because I wouldn't mind if it bleeped at me and said, as long as it's not in a female voice, but you are exceeding 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Warning, that would be okay. But if it actually takes over the throttle, I'm not very happy on that at all, because some people have... Apparently Volvo make one at the minute that fully conforms to the EU rules. And people are saying that if you're driving down a 60-mile-an-hour main road and there's a crossroads, but the crossroad, minor roads, are 30, the car detects that it's hitting a 30 zone and brakes.
Really?
And actually brakes.
No way. No, I don't believe that for a moment.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
I certainly will not look it up. I just will choose not to believe it. That's all. I thought that it was just limiting the car to up to 70 miles an hour.
No, not at all.
That's what I thought. But how can it know what the speed is on any given road? How can it know that?
It reads the signs.
Rubbish.
Seriously, you look at the Volvo spec on it. I looked it up.
It reads the signs? Nonsense.
Yeah. It recognises speed signs.
Well, it can't recognise a speed sign on a side road because it hasn't... There's no speed sign on the side road, let's assume.
It is, because when you get near it, it can read it at an angle. So if the 30 mile an hour signs are set back 10 or 20 yards from the crossroads.
Yes.
As you get 100 yards short of the crossroads, it can see the 30 mile an hour, reads the 30 mile an hour, and slows you down.
No, I don't believe it. I do not believe that's true.
It is.
But you keep saying it is, but
People have been on LBC today.
I don't care. I still don't believe it. No, I thought that. See, what makes sense to me is if the authorities, if the EU, the socialist overlords wanted to restrict us from going above 70 miles an hour, I could understand. In fact, I'm a little bit surprised that it hasn't happened already, because have you been on a motorway?
You say that again.
Absolutely nobody on the motorway is doing less than 75 miles an hour. No one. Not on any motorway in the nation is anyone doing below 70 miles, unless they're driving a lorry, Or they're me, because I'll be sitting behind a lorry, relaxing, listening to some tunes.
Groovy.
Just like, tootling up the motorway in the slow lane, which is where I like to be. But it's just me. Everybody else is zooming past like like their bottom is on fire.
It's I drive a pickup, which it'll tow 3.5 ton and carry a ton. So if I've got the trailer on the back, I'm pretty much stuck behind the trucks.
Yeah.
But if I don't have the trailer on the back, I'll do 70. But what I like to do on the motorway, you get clusters of vehicles and then sort of less busy areas. If I'm in a cluster, I will put my foot down, get into a clearer area, and then drop back to 70 again, because I don't like to be in areas where people are cutting in and out and cars are really close together. It seems better to try and get into a bit of open space where there's 100 yards between each vehicle, and then I feel a bit safer then.
Well, I tell you what's even better than that is just not bothering about any of that, just finding a lorry, sitting behind it, and then just doing whatever the lorry does. If it's going up a hill and it's straining and it's only doing like 55 miles an hour, that's fine. And if you zip past, you're just going to use more petrol and you're not really going to get to where you're going any faster. Not really. I mean, unless you're driving for days and every mile per hour will count. If you're just doing an hour or so, it don't make never mind. So just relax, baby. Just sit in the slow lane and tootle along, and you will arrive much more relaxed, less frazzled, and you'll live longer.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking forward to getting one of these cars if it controls my throttle.
I think that they actually should control everything on the car. They should take the steering wheel out, because human beings can't drive. That has been proven definitively. We can't do it. We don't have the temperament. We don't have the mental capacity. We don't have the attention span. We just can't drive. So take the steering wheel out and let a robot do it.
Affirmative.
But until that point, I'm sort of a bit, I don't know, it depends how they do it. I don't believe that whole Volvo reads the road signs thing. I just don't believe it. But if they brought out this rule that said cars can't do above 70 miles an hour, then I'd be like, oh, well, I suppose so.
They're also looking at doing it for sat-nav, but this, of course, brings you into road charging per mile, because if you've got a sat-nav thing in your vehicle, they can plot exactly where you're going and then charge you accordingly. Well, when electric comes in and they're not getting any fuel duty, they're going to have to charge you somehow.
Correct.
So then they could do it on the basis of sat-navs, because, yes, the vehicle will pick up, I'm in the 30 now, can't go any faster than that.
Yes.
So it could be done on that basis.
Yeah, now that I do understand. Like if it is on a sat-nav, because your sat-nav does know how fast you're supposed to be going, quite often. Like sometimes it gets it wrong, but most of the time it's pretty much right. So, yeah, if it just restricted you to the speed that you're supposed to be going, then it would actually relieve a lot of stress, because if you pass a speed camera and you don't know it's there and you're past it already, you think, oh my God, what speed was I doing? So that's stressful. People behind you, they want to go at 50 in a 20 zone, and they're going to run you off the road if you don't get out of their way, or do the speed that they want. That's stressful. So if they just removed all of that and you just floored it and the car would only go at the speed that you're supposed to be going at any given point, then imagine the lack of stress that would be, that would involve. I'm for it, kind of, sort of, a bit.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but
however,
we're having a major parliamentary debate now, and a Home Office and Transport Department debate as to whether we're going to conform with the EU regs. Well, how the hell are we going to sell any cars in Europe? If we say no stuff Europe, no, we're not doing it, then we can't sell any cars.
Exactly.
I mean, what sort of a debate is it to have? Are we going to make a point to our Brexit fan club?
Yes.
Or are we going to be sensible?
Well, the point that they'll make to the Brexit fan club is that this is the evil European socialist overlords who are dictating to us and ruining our lives. Thank God for Brexit. And they will hope that they don't think through that thought to the end, the conclusion that actually Brexit hasn't given us any freedom at all. Now we're just following rules that we don't have a hand in making.
Yeah, well, they should have thought about that before.
Well, they knew what they were voting for, Mike. I think I've been told that about 1 million times. All right, thanks a lot, mate. Keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel at all times. Text and tweets. Kerry's tweets. Michael Fabricant, or as I keep thinking, Michael Fabric Softener, insists he doesn't wear a wig. He says he's had follicle enhancement. I have no idea what that means. Catherine texts, he looks like Dick Van Dyke in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang when they have to perform as puppets. I'd have to see it again. But that would mean seeing it again. So that's out. Actually, that's not a bad film, is it? It's the kind of film that you would sit and watch in full if it came around on like New Year's Day, something like that. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. How can I remember that? And I've got absolutely no idea what I did last week. Joe tweets, remember when Fabricant appeared on Celebrity First Dates? No. That happened. Theresa May famously asked in Parliament, what I'm not sure about is whether my honourable friend is the celebrity or the first date. Wow. Good one, Mrs. M. I didn't know you had it in you. Kick off your comedy clown shoes, Mrs. M. Put your feet up. Relax, you deserve it. Jane says, if Rwanda is as nice as they say, Brits will soon be buying holiday homes there instead of Spain. You bet they will. Rwanda, yeah, I've got detailed files. The government basically said, warning, don't go there. And which was almost immediately followed by, it's the best place in the world. Well, both can't be right. Sheridan says, did you know that Fabo cycled around a park in London naked?
Disgusting.
Oh, God. No, I didn't. But I do now. Thanks a lot, Sheridan. Oh, there's a picture of him. Take that off my screen right now. I mean it. Oh, I need medical assistance. I need oxygen or something.
Booze.
Exactly, Carol. Right now, I mean it. 0345 6060 973. It's 12:30 on LBC, the news headlines with Zora Sullivan.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with Nick Abbott.
Hang about, Nick. Listen. Now, what I'm trying to say to you is this, Nick, right?
Baron tweets, I think Michael Fabricant's wig may also have non-dom status. Well, I wonder if they holiday in the same place. Alini says it might be a good idea to install a lie detector in the House of Commons. It would save a lot of money on inquiries. Yeah, but it'd be going off so often that no one would be able to be heard over the racket. I mean, can you imagine? You can't press this multiple times because you press it again and it stops it. I want it to go bang, 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 but it won't. Never mind. You know me, I never complain.
Whinging and whining and moaning.
Hereford, Alex.
Morning, Nick.
Alex.
I had an idea from what you just said about the lie detector.
Mm-hmm.
You could use one that's connected to electrodes like they've done in those experiments, and if they lie in PMQs, then they get a bit of a shock and everyone know they're lying.
Good idea. I like it.
But no, the reason I rang in is, no, it's right. It is right. Your previous caller is right. It's 100% right. There are cameras. My mother-in-law's just bought a new car, and in fact, it doesn't just read the road signs and tell her what speed she's meant to be doing. It also controls her headlights. So when she goes into a 30 zone, she drives around on full beam all the time, and then it dips the headlights when she's in a 30 or if a car's driving towards her.
Wow, that's spooky. But she goes around on full beam. What like as light as they get?
Yep, yeah, every single lumnum of light out of those headlights that she can get until somebody's driving at her, or if she goes into a 30 zone and it automatically dips them for her.
But why does she drive on full brights all the time?
Because, well, just she doesn't have to think about it then. She can focus on driving.
Right. Because she doesn't see very well.
Well, there is that, yeah.
Right, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah. So what kind of car is this?
Honda Jazz.
Is it?
Yeah, the Honda Jazz. Yeah,
Honda Jazz?
Rock and roll!
Yeah. Do they have a Honda Rock and Roll?
No, they don't, no. And funny enough, about speed restrictors, I agree with you, Nick. I think that if people are limited to 70, I mean, the Germans have got it to 155, but obviously they've got the Autobahn, which there's no speed limit on, is there? But
yeah. I've not driven on one of those, but I've seen footage of people driving on one, and it doesn't look like a very relaxing thing to do, because, well, if they're all like the footage that I saw, I'm pretty sure it was a Top Gear thing. It was just a 2-lane road full of lorries and people pulling out to pass lorries. But if somebody pulls out when you're doing at like 70 miles an hour and you're doing 150, you're going to be at the back of them really quickly. It didn't look like as much fun as it sounds.
Very quickly. And in fact, funnily enough, the Germans have a very unusual, this is a completely sidetrack here, but they have a very unusual way of doing their Autobahns. Unlike us, where we fill holes in when there's these massive craters in our roads, the Germans skim them. They actually make the roads that deep with tarmac that they actually just skim a layer off the top when the road surface gets poor.
Now, wait, back up. So we fill the hole, they take away the road surface to match the depth of the hole. Is that what you're saying?
Not for the whole road, but when they do need to resurface a road, they don't. They build it in such a way. My friend has something to do with the building of the roads over there, and he was saying that basically, yes, so parts of the Autobahn they just skim it because it's built to a certain depth, and they can just take a layer off. Like an onion. Onion road.
Well, that doesn't make no sense at all. I mean, okay. Well, I don't know that it's not true, but it...
A bit of homework for you, Nick.
Well, you can count that, count it as done as it's going to be, as in not at all. Good work. Thanks a lot, Alex. 0345 6060 973. A Honda Jazz.
Groovy.
Doesn't that sound like something you'd want to have?
Yowza.
It reads the road signs, so you don't have to. I can't wait until they just remove the steering wheel from the car entirely. People can't drive. You just can't. Roger texts, listening on the way home from work, what are you doing for Easter? This. G says, the bottom line is that this country is too overpopulated. Most of our public services, i.e. NHS, are groaning under the weight, albeit a big part due to this government, but also due to the growing population. Why do people encourage more people coming here? They are destroying the fabric of this country, says G. Wow. Okay, then. I'm not going to get hooked into that. You can't make me. Not at this point in the show, anyway. They are destroying this country. I think, G, you are probably destroying this country more than they are. What are you giving to this country, G? Just asking. What's your contribution? Highgate. Hello, Dominic.
Hi there. Oh, my God, that last text you just called is just, well, what do I say? But just 2 quick points I wanted to say. You just know that tomorrow, when the church comes out and condemns this sending people to Rwanda, people are going to say, why is the church so political? Not forgetting that we actually elect people church ministers and such to the House of Lords for moral guidance, to inform our policies.
We don't elect them; they just get
get given a seat. Yeah, exactly. And also forgetting that our history.
I don't think they should be, but go on.
No, but then as well, they're going to also forget that the church has always been political ever since King Henry VIII broke away from Rome. So I just can't wait for people to sit there and start knocking the church when they say same breath, we need to be a Christian country, or we used to be, but then condemn it when it doesn't align with their right-wing views. But also, I've been trying to find out what the average spending that the state invests in citizens here, just in regards to, because this week I heard somebody on Tom Swarbrick's show, I don't know if you heard, but you're probably very busy during the week, he actually incited Enoch Powell, River of Blood, and I thought, well, if this is the opportunity, if this is the road we're going down, I wanted to know if the average citizen gets 30 grand spent on them from the state, the same way these Rwandans are, because wouldn't it be better to be, when I checked out the currency of a Great British pound to the Rwandan franc, we're essentially making them millionaires. And isn't it better to be a millionaire in a developing country, or the best country ever since sliced bread, according to Priti Patel, than to be a poor person in this country? Because we don't even put 30 grand into, say, homeless people, or people some people don't even make 30 grand in this country. So I was wondering if there was an opportunity to be repatriated, because I actually done my research on what Enoch Powell was saying, and I was wondering if I could do an immigrant swap, because I'm a person of colour, and I think actually I would actually probably thrive in somewhere where I'm the ethnic majority, and the state is paying for me to be better. I'd rather be a Rwandan millionaire than an under 30k Londoner. Right. Do you not think it's actually a good? Well, maybe they should swap. Maybe they should invest in some of the people here to go elsewhere. So I would happily not be a burden on the state, and they make me a Rwandan millionaire. It just seems like a really good.
Well, it seems like a plan, Dominic. What's your sort code and bank account number?
It is 20.
Yeah, stop you right there. See what we can do. Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. I was going to say something about what he said at the beginning there, but then I've forgotten what it was that he said at the beginning there. Oh, it's the church. Yeah, it is interesting how when you read the comment section on any, which I do, too much of, but I can't help myself. It's like a zoo. The comment section of any newspaper website, some more so than others. And you look under any story, like the chap said, the Archbishop of Watset saying tomorrow that the government is being beastly, which of course they are. He's completely correct in every way, shape and form. And it will be full of people saying, well, what's it got to do with him? Yeah, they should just stick to what they do. Well, we'll see. And actors or people on TV and all of these people. Why don't they get their noses out of it? People like that. No one is allowed to make political comments apart from these people who are making political comments on these comment websites. Unless you're a politician, you are derided, and they say that you should, stick to what you know, while also making a never-ending stream of political comments themselves. I mean, I'm assuming that the people that write comments under newspaper stories online aren't actual politicians. I'll assume that they do other things for a living. So they themselves are guilty of what it is that they're criticising others for. But, that's life. We just stuck with it, I suppose. Liz tweets, Tory voters offer their homes to Ukrainian refugees, but want all others to be sent to despotic Rwanda. Double think, says Liz. Kathy texts, I just looked up an image of Michael Fabricant's hair. It looks like it's made of rope. These are not unsolicited testimonials, Mickey Fab. You might want to rethink the headwear. Jake texts, the main problem is when the opposition became liberals instead of socialist. Maybe that's right. Okay, I don't really understand what that means. The main problem is when the opposition became liberals instead of socialist. But then there's a smiley face after it. So presumably you're being sarcastic. But I don't understand that in that context. But never mind. Better luck next time. Ada text. Let's see what this one's like. No worries about numbers on your bill. This is my bill for my fuel bill. £400 a month. A month? How is that even possible? I mean, I'm not running Wembley Stadium off my meter. £400 a month they want to charge me. Ada says, no worries about the no worries about the numbers on your bill. If you get it in order, you get extra points. You get extra points for getting it in order.
If you get it in order, you get extra points.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
Come on, we're running late.
0345 6060 973. Bridgend. Hello, Mike.
Hello there.
Mike.
Oh, hello there.
Yes, Mike.
Oh, I'm on straight away. I just, when I was hearing the new scheme, this intelligent scheme devised for asylum seekers, it just put me in mind of kind of snakes and ladders, basically. Where you roll the dice, the refugee rolls the dice, because it's only going to be like 500 people a year or something. So basically, the asylum seeker rolls the dice, winds up in France after travelling hundreds of miles, and they roll the dice again, they wind up in the UK. And then they roll the dice, and it's just pure chance as to whether they go back to Rwanda and start again.
Yes.
Or not. It's kind of like on the absurd. I just couldn't. When I first heard it being mooted, it was kind of like putting the wave machine in the channel.
Right.
It's kind of one of those kind of ideas. Isn't
silly things they just throw out in order to distract people from the regime's various shenanigans. Yes.
Yeah. And then you think, well, the wave machines, you think, well, nobody was seriously mentioning that. And then they say, well, it was one of the ideas just thrown around. And then you're like, so this is just another one of the ideas thrown around. Which seems absurd, and it is absurd. And nobody else has done it, really. And it's something it's a fever dream. And then...
Well, some other countries have done something similar, and it failed. I think Australia did it, and I think Australia spent something like $1 million per person on offshoring their asylum claimants. $1 million per person. So it was total, utter, complete failure.
Let's do a simpler thing. Let's just clear all the British people off the Isle of Wight, and then do that and do it that way.
I like that idea. That is an excellent idea.
That way then, it's a nice little island. They've got to Britain, but they're not really in mainland Britain, so we can just kind of isolate them all off on a nice island. What
has the Isle of Wight ever done for us? So, excellent idea. Get all of those people off. Of course, if you take the people off the Isle of Wight and bring them onto the mainland, then they're going to be shocked and stunned that it's not still the 1970s.
I think it's a great plan. Or... Jersey, you could do the same thing with Jersey.
Yep.
Just it's much better than the Rwanda plan, and it's kind of on the same kind of line. It's more acceptable, and it's just brilliant. Also, it's another brilliant idea. I think
another brilliant idea from Mike in Bridgend. Excellent work there, Mike. Thank you. He's taken his applause, and we are fating him on this show. Ain't that right, Bodge?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
He's chief fater. Good work there, Mike. Eugene tweets, everything okay? You seem a bit grumpy tonight. What? This show? Is this show grumpy?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Which show are you listening to, Eugene? Tina says, did you know that crazy brainiac man-child Elon Musk already owns 1,900 satellites out of the 6,000 already circling the Earth, and has plans for 40,000 orbiting satellites for his Starlink internet project? This man is trying to take over the world. That does seem a bit much, doesn't it? I mean, how is he allowed to just pollute space like that? Just because he's got all the money that Bill Gates hasn't got. Yeah, I'm not sure about Elon Musk. Have you ever seen him actually speak? he did Saturday Night Live. I only saw a little bit of it, like a clip of him, and he came up and he started to talk, and you sort of were reeling back from the screen, and then he, knowing what we were thinking, said, "What? You didn't think I'd be normal, did you?" Oh yeah, right enough. Yeah, no. Not really, no. Graham texts, there's been nothing new under the sun since the first artificial one was briefly created 70 years ago. Since then, we've all been living in a fantasy world of denial. Well, that's alarming. The sun's only 70 years old. I didn't know that. This is an educational show, eh?
No.
Not really. Jonathan emails, when our dear Queen eventually turns her toes, I guarantee that you'll be relieved of your duties for at least a week. If you see that coming, I should book a well-earned holiday if I were you, says Jonathan. Oh, I haven't given you the royal news. I must do that. Running out of time. Gertrude emails, it's not a windmill, it's a word turbine. It's a word turbine. A wind, perhaps. Your device has miscorrected it. A wind turbine. Well, what's the difference between a windmill and a wind turbine? They're the same. Please get your facts right, says Gertrude. No, Gertrude, I refuse to get my facts right. James says, get a talking machine like Stephen Hawking used to have in case you lose your voice again. Good idea, James. George says, Ambleside near Carnforth is gorgeous. Is it? How many more of these have I got? Oh, blooming loads of them. How do these people get my number? Southsea. Hello, Lizzie.
Oh, Nick. Hello.
Lizzie.
Yeah, how are you, my dear?
I am super. Thanks for asking.
Good. Anyway, listening to the man that wants Nick, that wants to empty the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
And send them all over to the mainland. Well, I just wanted to say, I live in Southsea. 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the hovercraft. We don't want them all here. So.
Yeah, but Lizzie, you're going to get turfed off that little island. They're going to get rid of everybody that lives there. That's the plan.
No. I'm not on the island. I'm on the mainland.
Oh, right, the mainland. Right.
Yeah, I'm on the mainland, 10 minutes from the Isle of Wight.
I get you.
So we don't want all those Isle of Wight people coming here.
Well, I can understand that.
It just made me giggle when he said it.
Yeah, with their weird ways and their sort of
exactly
ancient way of doing everything.
Yeah. No, we don't want all those backward-looking people from the Isle of Wight.
Those backward people from the Isle of Wight. No, I completely... No. There's nothing controversial about you saying that, by the way, in case you were wondering.
No, I know. There isn't. No.
Right.
Anyway, that's it. I thought I'd end your evening with that, Paul.
Okay, well, it sounded like you did. Excellent work. Thanks a lot, Lizzie. All you Isle of Wight people, you can stay exactly where you are. Lizzie has decided. Alexandra texts, I agree with you about wind turbines. They're graceful, peaceful monuments to art, futurism and globe-preserving positivity. However, I cannot agree with your opinion of electricity pylons and wires. They're exciting, angular monuments to art, futurism and post-war welfare state vision pres positivity. That's probably also auto-corrected to something you didn't mean there. Vision pres positivity. I don't know what that means. Post-war welfare state positivity. Let's just leave it at that. No, they're not. I mean, I could understand maybe if it was like the 1930s, 20s, something like that, and you saw those electricity pylons marching like giant robots across the land.
Correct.
Then you might think, yes, that's futurism right there. That's go forward faster. But no, they're hideous. They're just awful. Bury those wires in the ground. That's where they should be, not marching across the ground on those hideous pylons. Madam tweets, you better give us that news. Do not finish the show without the news. I've been hanging on for 3 hours. Yeah, well, remind me before the show's ending, madam, if that is indeed your name. Bill texts, the supermarkets are closed in the morning. Yeah, that's the other thing about Easter. Not only do businesses close, like offices close, If you're trying to get anything done, then you're fresh out of luck, because the entire month, 2 weeks either side of Easter, nobody does anything. God, it's such an annoying holiday. Hang on a minute, I'm going to have to drink some water. Fresh, delicious water. Dimitri says, it's all about GPS. Oh, gee, don't talk to me about GPS. He says the car would know what road you're on and it will drive at that speed and no higher. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Rich says, my 6-year-old Mercedes reads and displays most road signs, including speed ones. Well, get you in your fancy car, Rich. How many more of these have we got? Oh, look, I can see the end from here. Jane says, random question of the day. If the national maximum speed limit is 70, why do cars go up to 150? Why not make cars go no faster than 80? Then people may not break the speed limit. Whilst we're at it, can we make it illegal for insecure teenage boys to make their grandma's VW Polo sound like a fighter jet? Good idea, Jane. That should be against the law. Ben says, I drove a little Fiat 500 car. It was fun, but that's it, really. Well, without doubt, the best text I've had this year. Phil says, fabricant is fabricated and possibly laminated. Well, it does look as though his hair, or whatever that is, has been plastinated, doesn't it? It looks like if you spilled something on it, you'd just be able to wipe it off. Hagar says, the extra show you're doing on Monday, is this so you can catch up on texts? And James says, the Brexit England fans will all be complaining in a few years' time when the national football team loses to Rwanda in the World Cup because of all of our refugees. Royal news. These are the headlines in the Mail today concerning Hazza and Sparkles. Every headline is of a different story. In and out in 15 tense minutes, Richard Kay and the sombre reunion between Meghan, Harry and broken-hearted Charles. Harry and Meghan break cover in Europe for the first time since Megxit. Sussexes make public appearance ahead of Invictus Games. Did Harry wait for William to be away before secret chat with Queen? Harry and Meghan told the Queen she will hug Archie and Lilibet in the near future, in very cordial secret meeting. Palace try to bury inquiry into bullying claims against Duchess of Sussex. Duchess of Diamonds. Meghan Markle dazzles in jewellery worth more than 300 grand. Was this Harry and Meghan's incognito visit to see the Queen? Video shows blacked out van leaving Windsor Castle. Inspired by Kate, Meghan Markle steps out in £3,200 white Valentino suit. Don't forget the film crew. Netflix staff scamper around after Harry and Meghan as couple greet competitors at the Invictus Games. Meghan leads the way as anxious Harry makes his public return. Body language expert reveals how the Sussexes showed their confidence as they returned to the spotlight. Harry and Meghan ramp up the drama for Netflix, how the Sussexes perform for the cameras, but Harry lurches between emotional highs and lows. In the hot seat, Harry and Meghan lark around as they hitch a ride in a mini Land Rover driven by children. Feeling broody, Harry and Meghan cuddle up to a baby before emotional Duke is confronted by his wife after making his first public return to Europe and olive branch reunion with the Queen. Meghan will carry out secret reading of her picture book, The Bench, for children at Invictus Games before jetting back to California. Prince Harry gets a debrief. Duke poses with budgie smugglers gifted to him by cheeky Australian Invictus squad. Prince Harry will get behind the wheel of a Land Rover as his driving skills are put to the test at first event of the Invictus Games. When Harry and Meghan met Pete, Duke and Duchess pose with US Transport Secretary Pete Buttigieg as they meet in Netherlands. Harry reveals 2-year-old son Archie wants to be a helicopter pilot. Oh, grow up, Archie. And Duke and Duchess share very public